Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2 a.m. Campfire Club. I'm Ethan.
And I'm your beautiful hostess, Waffle.
I thought you were gonna say I'm your mom.
Say
No.
who you are!
I am Abby.
Alright, sorry. This is my cousin Abby. This is not the first time we've done the intro because Abby decided to say I'm your mom and not say her name for like a full 5 minutes last time.
It was like 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
But yeah, we are back. This is the last episode of season 2, and it's just me, Abby, and Waffles today.
The dynamic breakfast trio.
Your lovely hostee.
You call
Waffles.
yourself a hostess,
Yeah.
which makes you a girl.
He said hostie.
No, earlier he said
Hostess.
hostess.
Yeah.
But in any case,
I'll be a hostess.
in any case, we're talking about everyone's favorite show, Sword Art Online. That's definitely not considered one of the worst animes of all time on most tier lists.
Ooh, my favorite show.
All right, so Abby's never watched this show.
Best show ever.
So we're gonna do something similar to what we did for the Demon Slayer episode. We're gonna have Waffles and I go over what the show is, and then we're gonna rank some of the weapons in the show. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
So Sword Art Online, it's what, 3 seasons technically? It's about 100 episodes. I don't know exactly how many, but it's about 100. I think it's exactly 100 episodes right now. And
how long are each episode?
They're like 22 minutes.
Multiply 24.
So that means
24 episodes per season.
that you've wasted
no, they're not all 24. They have
about
different episodes.
200,
different number of episodes.
like
in each
2,022 minutes of your life.
The second one was 12,
How do you
and then the
remember?
third one was 12.
No.
What?
That's not how the seasons are, Waffles.
That's so weird.
That's arcs. The first arc was 12. The second arc was 13. The third arc was 12. The fourth arc was 12.
Oh yeah. It was
so
there was one that was 13 and 12.
The next arc was 50 episodes because they were like, let's make it spicy. Let's change things up and make everyone thoroughly confused. Yay!
Yeah.
Confusion. Confusionism.
Confusionism.
Woohoo. Confusion.
But
anyway.
But yeah, so
with that aside,
the show start is about the main character Kazuto, who goes by Kirito.
We're gonna try and pronounce his name.
Kirito.
It's
Kirito. So Kirito. So like Kirito.
Yes, but in Japanese you put like it's like a little bit of a sound with the R, so it's
Kirito.
Kirito.
Yeah, Kirito. And it has to be like the same length like for each letter, like Kirito.
Kirito. Look at that Kirito right there.
His actual name is Kazuto Kirigaya. Yeah, Kazuto Kirigaya.
Kirito. I'm just gonna pronounce everything all southern.
So, by the way, spoiler alert. We said this in the Demon Slayer episode. We're gonna be spoiling the show. Just be prepared for that if you're watching this.
Yeah. So if you, for some reason, like anime, then you should stop watching this.
If you want to watch the show without being spoiled, then don't watch this episode.
You should
skip to the
watch the show first,
or just like skip to the part where we rank the weapons, because that part probably won't really have spoilers.
You know, in the description, you could like put the time signature of when you start the other thing.
I'm lazy, and that probably won't happen.
You know what? I'll do it. I'll comment and do that if I have time.
But yeah, so Kirito starts like he
I'm sorry. I just heard kitty toe.
Kirito.
Kitty toe.
Alright, we're gonna talk about what the show is because we've been filming for 5 minutes and haven't started it yet. Alright?
Okay. Alright.
So, Kirito buys this new VR headset that's called a full dive VR headset. What's it called again? It's the
Full dive headset.
What's it called though? But what's the actual brand? It's
Samsung.
No, it's not Samsung.
I don't know. They make everything.
Crap.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna.
Oh, it's wait, no, it's not ordinal
No,
scale.
ordinal scale is the thing
that was a
later in
different.
the show. I'm googling it. Full dive.
I forgot what it was. Oh my goodness.
It's called Nerve Gear.
Nerve gear. That's right. Oh my goodness.
Nerve Gear.
It's a full dive.
So what full dive is it makes you unconscious and connects to like your brain and makes it feel like you're living in a video game world.
Yeah. It's like connects all your neurons to
it is kind of like the Matrix. Yeah, that's a good way to talk about it.
The only thing is they're not being used as a human battery.
Well, they're used for other things.
And there's no weird tubes. Oh.
So they release one game when the Nerve Gear releases, and it's called Sword Art Online. It's created by Akihiko Kayaba.
Oh, excuse me. Akihiko
Kayaba.
Yeah. Just call him Kayaba.
We're gonna call him Kayaba because that's what he goes by.
Mafia Kayak. That's what I heard.
Mafia Kayak. Sure.
Kayaba.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Okay. Close.
But yeah, so in Kirito starts playing this game, he makes a friend named Klein.
His friends?
Yes. He makes a friend named Klein. He's a cool dude.
Great name.
And then
Cool, dude.
they're about to try and log off of the game for the night because they've been playing for hours, and they're like, "Uh-oh, where's the leave button?" They can't leave. The game doesn't have a close game button. They removed it from the system. And so then
they just get someone to rip it off of their head.
Alright, let me finish talking. They get like teleported to the central town area, and Akihiko Kayaba is in like this dark, ominous cloak. He creates like a force field, and he's like talking to them, and he's like, "Yiggity yo, you can't leave, peoples. It's a death game. If you die in the game, you die in real life. That's what the headsets do. Oh, and guess what?
Yeah.
If your family takes it off, you die too."
So the headset is basically like an oven. It would heat your brain up
shoots
and
microwaves into your brain.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like it would like meld how like juice from like your ears and like
it literally like fries your brain so that you die.
It killed a bunch of people. So.
And that's why my parents don't want me playing video games all day.
I mean,
well,
it's not a system that connects directly to your brain and can control its functions and thus kill you. So I think you're safe. But so yeah, they're like, there's Akihiko Kayaba says there's 100 floors in this game, like 100 levels, and at the end of each one is a boss. If you can defeat all 100 bosses, you guys can all go free if you haven't died. So that's the plot of the first arc of the game, or of the show. It's not a game. Actually, it is a game, but it's adapted from the show. And so the first, 12, 13 episodes is Kirito and his friends trying to level up and defeat the game without dying. They get to tier 50 or somewhere around there, and that's when I guess I skipped a lot. I shouldn't have gone that fast. So while they're in the game, he meets these people. There's Liz, who is a weaponsmith. Agil is like a pawn shop owner. He sells weapons, but also is a fighter. Like I said, he knows Klein. Silica is this person who he saves, who has this dragon. And then there's Asuna, who is the main female protagonist of the game, or of the show. I keep saying game. Of the show, who they end up, spoiler alert, they fall in love. It's pretty obvious from the start. Oh, and Yui, who is the worst character in that show.
Yui?
Not the worst. There's some bad ones, but she's up there. She is a AI that has gained sentience and has emotions.
Oh
no. Who looks like a child.
Oh,
and calls Kirito and Asuna their parents. Specifically, Kirito is called Daddy.
That's kind
of
weird.
It is weird. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. In the Japanese version, he's called Papa, which
which is
I
not
greatly
bad.
prefer Papa over Daddy. And plus, her voice is so annoying.
Oh my gosh. Is it like one of those annoying,
if you're
like,
watching
show
Sword Art Online,
it's like a little kid voice, but if you made it high pitched and it wasn't actually a little kid voice.
So if you're watching Sword Art Online, I would recommend watching the Japanese version.
I prefer the English version, personally.
I don't understand Japanese.
You have to have subtitles. I had to watch the last 25 episodes in Japanese because when I watched it, it wasn't in English yet.
I watch Japanese most of the time.
I could never understand
I watch plenty of shows in Japanese. I just prefer this one in English.
I've been trying to learn Japanese too.
I would love to learn Japanese, but that's too much work for me.
Yeah.
Too much.
Anyway.
They stuck me in a class for like Spanish for 7 years.
I took Spanish class for 2 years and I don't know how to speak Spanish.
Yeah, no. I don't either. It was really bad.
Yeah, we gotta go back on topic. So Yui gets trapped in this weird stone that's considered an object in the game because, the system wants to kill her because she's not supposed to be there. Oops. So yeah, they store her in an object and move on with their lives. So yeah, they make a bunch of friends. They end up joining this thing called a guild. It's about what you'd expect. It's a group of people that work together and share the loot. And the leader, this is the biggest guild in the game. It's called the Knights of the Blood Oath.
Yeah, it's the Knights of the Blood Oath, and it was lead by none other than.
No, we're not talking about that yet. Wait, we're gonna talk about it later. But this guy that leads it is like way too strong. He uses a shield.
Yeah.
He's basically seems like he's way overpowered
Immortal.
And cannot die. In fact, Kirito, who's the strongest character in the game, could not get him past the 3rd health. So they go to the 50th floor to do that boss battle, and while they're doing it, because they've defeated all the other floors, by the way. I guess I should probably say that. They make it to the 50th floor. They're doing the boss battle.
No, they just
and while they're doing it, just about everyone is almost dead, if not dead.
Oh boy.
They are very much so struggling. And Kirito looks up and he sees, the leader of the guild literally still has a 3rd health. It's almost like something's blocking him from going below that. And so he's sitting there thinking, he's battled the guy, and he realizes, I figured it out. So after everyone's like recovering, they're all on the ground because they're exhausted and dying. And he stands up and runs over and attacks him, and he's like, I figured it out. You're Akihiko Kayaba. And sure enough, it was the creator of the game in disguise.
And he was using cheats.
Yes. So then Kayaba's like, alright, Kirito, I'll make you a deal. If you can defeat me in battle right here and now with no cheats, I will let everyone out of the game right here. If not, you die. And then Kirito's like, bet.
And then we pull out
and then they start fighting, and Kirito can't. Oh yeah, also Kirito's the only person in the game who can dual wield swords because The
That,
combat
that was apparently his unique
the combat in
ability.
the game is based around skills. So other people can do it, they just aren't able to use skills to do it, which makes it a lot weaker. And so since he was the strongest in the game, the strongest person in the game got the skill to dual wield. And then the other guy also has a special skill that is like ultimate defense kind of thing. So they're both using their special skills in this battle, and fighting each other. And Kirito is struggling. He's not doing super hot. It looks like he's gonna die. He goes in for the last blow to kill Kirito, and Asuna, despite the fact that everyone in the room had been paralyzed and shouldn't be able to move, forced herself up and got in the way of the sword and died. Kirito.
Technically, she didn't die.
Kirito's like, oh no. And he gets depressed and he's like, might as well just kill me. I guess I'm out. He gets stabbed. And then he hears his friend screaming and he's like, no, I have to fight for her and save all these people. Even though he's supposed to be dead, he wills himself to stay alive a little longer, walks through this guy's sword, and stabs him in the chest. And wins. So then everyone's getting released from the game, and he gets taken into the place where you go when you're dead and waiting to be finished off. Asuna's still there, so she's not actually dead. They talk with Akihiko Kaiba for a few minutes, and then bada bing, bada boom. Kirito's out of the game. Yippee.
And so his brain gets fried, and that's
it. No, he wins. He wins. He gets to go back to his real life.
Yeah, he didn't get fried.
Because he won.
So is that the end of the story?
So this is just the first 12 episodes out of 100.
What?
First 13. So then, second arc starts. They're like, uh-oh, wait a minute. Asuna didn't wake up. Where is she? Turns out she went to Fairyland. Fairyland. Spoiler alert. I say that a lot, but this is the worst arc in this show and any show I've ever watched.
Agreed.
It's really bad. The rest of the show is pretty solid. Like, it's a pretty good show.
Yeah.
This part's horrible. And I'll tell you why.
This part is the worst part.
First of all, the plot is just full of plot holes. For example, once he gets into Fairyland and plays the game, which he's able to leave, by the way, he's like, oh, look at that. A special item is in my inventory. Oh, would you also look at that? It's Yui. Let me just tap it real quick and she comes back. Because that makes sense. Why we didn't do that in SAO? I don't know. It would have made a whole lot of sense. But no.
Yeah, just a couple taps and boom,
let me just tap it again and then she's back. Easy. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't why that worked, but it did. Also, his sister falls in love with him.
What?
So this is the start part of the show.
Sweet home
this is the part of the show where there's like this horrible trope that starts and continues going for like a lot of the show, where every single character he meets falls in love with him. And this guy doesn't have a whole lot of personality. Nice. Like, he's just a generic heroic guy number 7.
Yeah, he just hopes to whoever he wants.
He just cares about his friends and continues to fight until he wins and is way overpowered. That's just the way it is.
Generic guy.
So, everyone's falling in love with him. And so his sister falls in love, and their excuse is, oh, but we're secretly cousins.
Okay, that's kind of weird.
But, like, still, it's weird. And so, then he goes into Fairy World. His sister, he finds out, has been playing the Fairy World game. It's called Alfheim Online, by the way, because that'll be relevant later. She's been playing it the whole time. He was trapped to like do something fun while she's waiting for her brother to escape a evil video game. And so he gets out.
Sounds fun.
Alright, he's in the game with his sister, and they don't know it's each other, by the way. At this point they don't know. So
So does his sister fall in love with the person he doesn't know?
So
or?
then his sister is like, you know what? I gotta get over my brother. Let me fall in love with this guy. He's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
And so then she gets all mad at him.
That's the same
and
guy.
is like, why? How could you do this to me? And he's like, what? What did I do? And so it's like,
oh my
it's so
gosh.
frustrating. But basically, the plot of this is she gets trapped by this guy. His name is Sugo. He wants to marry her, so he trapped her in a video game, and is also doing tests on the brains of
Bowser.
other people.
Yeah.
Basically,
so
the
that
plot
he
of
can-
Mario.
He's the worst. He's the worst person you
He's
could
the
ever
worst
meet.
character in this show by far. He tries
By
to
what,
force her
like,
to do things.
morally bad or annoying?
No, both. He's both extremely annoying and also tries to sexually assault
he
women.
makes you want to punch it. He makes you want to punch him in the face.
He sexually assaults women.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is, I personally don't ever like that in an anime.
Horrible. I skipped over like full episodes because
personally don't like that anywhere.
So it's bad. He basically stabs him. He saves Asuna.
Yeah.
She's free from the game. He frees everyone else. Yippee! Everyone's free now.
And generally, oh, sorry. Can you speak? Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say generally I don't like sexual harassment in anime. I just feel like kind of off-putting.
I mean, 100%. It's off-putting in any situation. I don't know why anyone would want to add that. I mean, like in some movies and shows, it is there to make a statement. In this one, it wasn't. It was there for entertainment purposes, and it wasn't okay.
Gone.
Like, why would you use that as entertainment?
I don't know. It was. This is why this show is so controversial. Because for some reason, there's a character in this show who everyone falls in love with, and at the same time, the writer likes to do that to women in this show, and it's just not okay. It's not okay. It happens 3 times.
If you eliminate like the second arc, I think you make it the first arc connected with the third and fourth. I think it will be a good anime.
It's genuinely a good show if you cut out this arc.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, they do something similar to other characters later, but there is a little bit more of a purpose, and it's not just straight up for entertainment purposes, which is horrible. And not only that, they stop it pretty fast. It's not. It was way too drawn out in this season, and it was horrible. I had to skip so much of it. But in any case, season now we're on to the third arc. This one, they're just trying to live their life.
Really good.
So all the people who were in SAO and survived in our school age get put in the same school so that they can monitor their mental health.
Yeah, I forgot what that school was. It was for something. It was SAO Survivor School. Yeah.
So and plus they're trying to catch them all up on everything they got behind on, because they were trapped in that game for what was it, 2 years?
Almost 2 years.
It was about 2 years that they were trapped in the game. So where people were killing each other, they had to survive people killing them, trying to kill in monsters trying to kill them. So it was.
Was it 2 years in real time, or did they come back? Oh wow! How did they eat and go to the bath?
They were put in hospitals where.
Yes.
Where they put IVs to give them nutrients they needed.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically in the game store online, you kill a person, you don't get jail time or whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing to stop you from killing people, and if you kill them, you get their loot. So people did it because they thought it was fun, and they're like, "Oh, it's not real murder because there's no blood, so it's fine." Who knows if people are really dying in the real world anyway? So then it turns a bunch of people into psychopaths, basically.
Yeah, so if you kill one person, you're above there's an arrow. It was green. It's turning orange, and if you kill multiple person, it turns red.
Yeah, and you're called a player killer.
Yeah.
A player killer.
And so while they were in Sword Art Online, there was this one guild of player killers called Laughing Coffin. who become relevant later in the show. Specifically, they start being relevant in season 2, or I mean the third arc, which starts in season 2 technically. But it's these people all turn into like they're crazy. They kill people for fun, and so season 2 starts, or the third arc starts, and Kirito, they're back living a normal life. Kirito and Asuna are dating, obviously. Um, and they're all at this special school. And Kirito finds out, or is approached by the government, because they all know this happened, and they know he's the one that stopped it. And he finds out that they found out, or that somebody has been killing people playing a game in real life again. And they ask for his help to stop him, because he's the one that knows VR MMOs best at this time.
And it could be related to SAO.
So they're worried it's related to the same thing. So this game is called Gun Gale Online, and it's basically Sword Art Online, but with guns instead.
It's Ethan's favorite.
Like Fortnite.
Kind of.
But in real.
And so
it's Ethan's favorite.
It's a really cool arc. I really like it. And so Kirito has to enter this competition because the contestants start dying. While he's doing this, he makes a friend. Her name's Sinon, who is a sniper, the best sniper in the game. And so he doesn't know how to fight with weapons, obviously. So he just uses these photon swords, or whatever they call them.
Photon swords? I'm sorry, I just imagine like those pull-out couch thingies.
No, photon.
Like,
photon.
What's a photon?
It's a chemistry thing.
It's like a lightsaber.
But yeah, it's a lightsaber. It's basically just a lightsaber.
It's It's basically a purple lightsaber.
He is so good at video games that he just straight up cuts through all the bullets. He's so fast with the sword that he just straight up predicts where the bullets are going and slices through them to block them. And so...
Ethan didn't give that much context. So there was a mini game in the Gun Gale Online game, which if you win, you get like more than 500.
You get a lot of money because people have been trying to do it this whole time, and no one could do it. Where you have to dodge all the bullets and click a button. And since he has really good reaction time and has gotten used to real combat scenarios, he's really good at it. And so he starts to predict the movement, dodges all the bullets, and then gets a bunch of money, which he then uses to buy really good loot.
And he did it first try.
Everyone's like shocked.
When others did it a million times.
And so he finds out that Sinon is probably a target of the person killing people. He needs, and so what he does is he enters this competition where it's like, it was called the Bullet of Bullets. Is it what it was called? And so it's just like duels where it's one person versus another. They have to shoot them. Whoever wins moves on to the next round. You're trying to kill the person.
But he joined specifically because to find this guy that was
specifically find the guy that was killing people, because 2 of the contestants had already been killed, and so he was like, this is probably where he's getting his targets from. So he enters it, and while he's doing the qualifier rounds, he sees this person, and his name is Death Gun.
That's a great name.
Like he's just got like a long cloak and a skull mask, and he's just got like a pistol. That's basically what he is. And one shot from his pistol kills you in real life. He also has another weapon though. I don't remember what it is because it's not important. So he fights through this tournament. He's doing really well. Sinon's also doing really well. And once you make it to the end, it literally does just become Fortnite. Everyone gets thrown on a map, and whoever wins, you have to kill people. Whoever lives the longest wins.
It's Fortnite Zero Build.
It's Fortnite Zero Build is what it is. It's a battle royale. And so both Sinon and Kirito are here. they work together. They take down Death Gun in the game and keep him from killing too many people. 2 more people do die in real life though.
Yeah, but they had a little struggle during that because Xenon was scared of pistols since she was when she was young. She grabbed him. There was a
Somebody
man who was
assaulted her
grabbing
while she was at the bank.
robbing a
Yeah,
bank.
and
Yeah, and
she
then
shot
she
him.
took his pistol and then
She
she killed
shot
him.
him. And so she's afraid of
Yeah.
weapons. She plays the game to try
Yeah.
and get over her fear of weapons, but for some reason
Yeah,
she's
like
not afraid of weapons when they're in the game, but in real life she's still scared of them. And so
like she's another
yeah,
person.
so once the threat became real again, and not only that, this person was using the exact same gun that she used to kill the person. Like an exact replica moved from real life into the game is what Death Gun was using. So she's mortified. She's like, I'm going to die, and I cannot get over my fear of guns. So they work together. He is able to help her get over her fear. They defeat Death Gun in the game, and Kirito's like, alright, Sinon, I am. Where do you live? They basically tell each other where they live in real life so that, like, I can go over to your house and make sure you don't die. Because they figured out that Death Gun is 2 people, one of them in the game and one of them in real life, who has been going around to people's houses, figuring out where they live and killing them in real life.
Yeah, inject them with like basically the serum that stops their heart immediately.
So he's like, I'll go to your house and protect you if you want. And she's like, no, it's fine. She gets off the game because they're done and sits in her house. She's like pretty scared, obviously. And she gets a knock at her door. It's her friend. Who you're introduced to earlier in the show. He likes her, obviously. He walks in and has like pastries. They talk for a while, but then before the tournament, he asked her out. She said, I'll think about it after we're done. He's like, so you want to go out with me? She's like, I'm sorry, but I only see you as a friend. So this is instance 2 of sexually assaulting women. He like tackles her and starts screaming at her and tries to kill her because she won't date him.
That's kind of weird.
And it turns out, and Kirito runs in, because he decided to come anyway to make sure she was okay. He runs in, grabs a pot, and smashes him in the head with it.
Painful. Is he dead?
No, he's alright. But he gets knocked out.
Oh.
So he protected her. They find out that him and his brother were Death Gun, and his brother was in Laughing Coffin and in SAO 2.
Great. What happened to the Mafia kayak guy?
He's not super important anymore.
He's hiding
right
now.
He's hiding. He's dead. His body's dead. He saved himself into the internet, basically. He uploaded his consciousness to the internet.
Yeah, he was hiding somewhere, so
that's interesting.
But he's not exactly the villain from this point out. He was kind of the villain at the beginning, but from the rest of it, he's kind of an ally.
Yeah, he actually
helped Kirito beat Sugo during the second arc.
Yeah, which we're not gonna mention through, because that part you gotta have to find out yourself.
But yeah, so so then he wins. They stop that. That's basically the end of that arc. Sinon kind of joins their group of friends.
Yeah, Kirito introduced them to a group of friends.
Because they all have they all have trauma caused by video games now.
Yeah, it's all the people you've seen in the first arc, like Liz, Silica, more of that, Eagle, more of that.
So yeah, that's that arc. The next arc, we're gonna do this one more arc, give a brief overview of all of season 3 at once, and then we're gonna move on because
which is the third arc, which is my favorite arc.
Yeah, it's really good. I don't want to spoil that one too much because it is really good. And it also doesn't make sense if I'm describing it to you instead of watching it. So if you like what we've said so far and you get to that part, just watch the show. It's a good show. You can skip the second arc because it's not that important. I guess you need to watch some of it, but like skip the end. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
The rest of it's good though.
The third arc, the plot were more like better than the rest.
It's the third season, not the third. It's the fifth arc. Yeah.
Basically.
So,
which is my favorite.
It's not my favorite, but it's still really good. I think my favorite is the first one, but yeah. So we're on to the next arc. They all play the fairy game now because they've kind of grown to like it there, and they also uploaded all the levels from Sword Art Online into this too, so you can like everyone from SAO can go on there and go to like the places they lived and the shops they owned and stuff like that if they choose to.
Yeah, it's basically a seed, like in Minecraft.
Yeah, it's like they duplicated it and put it into a different world. So they all live in this fairy. They don't live there, but they play the game a lot, and they meet this one person who was like considered a noob, but she sits under this tree every day and is like, anyone that wants to fight me can. And everyone goes. A bunch of people go and lose, and no one's been able to beat her yet.
She's not a noob, but
she's a new player, but she's not a noob.
Yeah.
But so this spoiler alert, this arc is sad. This is the sad one.
It's a real sad.
I definitely cried.
Yeah. Same.
So
weird.
They're fighting this person. It's a girl, and she looks pretty young, but like you can make a character, so that doesn't really say all that much.
Her name is Yuki.
Is her name, yes. And so Kirito fights her and loses. And then Asuna's like, all right, I'll give it a shot just for fun. And she does well enough to where Yuki just stops fighting and is like, all right, I've seen enough. Come with me. And grabs her and flies away. Because everyone in this fairy world has wings, by the way. So they fly away, and she introduces Asuna to her like guild, and it's like her and her friends. And they're like, we really want to beat a floor boss or like a level boss on our own without the help of any other guild, and we've been looking for one more person to help us do it.
Our last
they're
quest.
Like, it's our last quest. We're about to break up for the summer because we won't be able to do anything once summer's over, and we're all gonna get busy.
I think it's called the Sleepy Nights or Sleeping Nights or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Or is that the one from SAO? No, it is the Sleeping Nights. You're right.
The one from SAO is Alley Cats.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, they're all trying to do this. Asuna is helping them, and throughout this, Yuki starts getting really close with Asuna, but like every time they bring up anything from the real world, Yuki gets awkward. And so one time, while they're working on it, then they beat the boss. It took a lot of work, but they beat the boss, and they're celebrating. And Yuki calls Asuna sis, and Asuna's like, "Oh, there you go, Yuki, calling me sis." Yuki freaks out, logs off, and stops talking to him. Like, she just straight up stops talking to any of them, and so does everyone else. Stops talking to Asuna. They're like, "Peace, I'm out." And so Asuna is like, "I have to find her. She's telling me not. I've been told by her friends not to try and find her, but I have to do it because I care about her." And so Kirito is really good with computers, and so she's like, "Here, find her." And Kirito finds her, and
also with Yui's help.
Yui's help. Yui's there. And she's in a hospital, and she's been using this thing called the Medicuboid, which is like a VR rig for medical use that, unlike the normal one, which doesn't numb your pain from the real world and lets you like it like numbs some of your pain from the real world, while and isn't like completely, it doesn't completely cut you off from the real world, but this one completely cuts you off and you can't feel anything from your real body. And it turns out it's because Yuki has AIDS.
Yeah, really bad AIDS.
Which, yeah, all AIDS is really bad AIDS. But, like, she's dying. She will die.
Soon. So that's why it was her last quest.
Yeah, you find out that all of them were actually sick. Some of them have recovered, some of them haven't. But yeah, Yuki, very sick. They spend time together. They find a way that she can do, like, follow Asuna around in the real world using a camera.
Which I have to praise Kirito for this genius.
Yeah, he creates like this system that'll let her kind of feel like she's moving around in the real world a little bit. Like she's able to follow.
And then Asuna just put the camera on her shoulder, and she can look through the camera's perspective.
Yeah, so she takes her to do some of the things she never got to do in real life because of how sick she was.
Congrats to Kirito.
And you find out that the reason that she's called Asuna Sis is because she had a twin sister who died from AIDS the year before.
Which is very sad.
It's extremely sad. And then she dies.
Yeah, I cried at the end a lot. That's the end
of that arc. She just dies. It was really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end, which is Asuna staring at her like her good at her things.
Yeah,
whatever.
It was really sad. It was sad.
It was there was
another
so
arc
much
in
at
there
the end.
too, which I guess I should mention that right in between the third and fourth arcs, there is one that's like 3 episodes long where they're on a hunt to find Excalibur, and it's just like all the characters you already know doing it. They meet Thor and someone else.
Yeah, and we don't have to say that arc. It's fine.
They collect Mjolnir and Excalibur, and it's pretty cool. But I really like that arc personally. The intro is my favorite one in the show. It's one of my favorites.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's a good arc. Just thought I should mention it.
Yeah, we don't go into specific with that arc because there's just like nothing important to the storyline.
It's not important to the main storyline, and it's literally 3 episodes long, so it's not too. But then you get to the fourth arc, which is 50 episodes, the length of the entire show so far.
I love it.
And so basically what happens in this one is, the government created an entire world of sentient AIs who think they are living actual lives and are alive.
Nothing can ever go well with the words the government created.
The government.
So what? Yeah. So what they need?
And so they created AI that had souls. They created AI that they gave souls.
Yes, basically, it's a virtual soul. So
and they're stored in this world that they think is a real world.
It's by using frack lights.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're called.
It's just fake souls. Frack light is what it is. But don't worry about it. That's not important to the plot.
So basically, what they need is like a person to go in to like teach them
what it is to be a person, like that they at the moment they all follow exactly the programs that they were written with and what they are told to do. And so Kirito went in there as a job and taught them that it's all right to break the rules sometimes and that you have free will. They taught them to have free will so that they aren't just programs, they're actually sentient beings that have free will. And so while he's doing this, every time he leaves, he gets his memory wiped of everything that happened. And while he's in there, he also gets his memory wiped. So, yeah, that's basically what all that is, and then
hold on. I think we missed a really big
no.
part.
That's just no. I'm not stopping that whole arc here, Waffles. I'm just saying that's the build up of what.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about like I think we missed a really big part at the beginning. Why Kirito ended up there?
Why?
Because he was
That's what
attacked
I'm
by
about to
a laughing
say.
coffin
That's
man.
what I was gonna say, Waffles.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
saying that's the
notice.
setup of what that is, and then I was gonna go into what the story is for
Okay,
the
okay,
arc.
continue. My
So
bad, my
he's
bad.
going
Continue.
to this cafe with Sinon and Asuna. It's owned by actually it's a bar technically, and it's owned by Eigo, which is cool. And on their way home, Asuna and Kirito find someone following them, and it turns out it was another member of Laughing Coffin who found him in real life. And so he has a knife and stabs Kirito, and Kirito goes into critical condition and is almost dying. And so they're like, all right,
oh boy,
in order to save him, we are going to put him into this fake world while his body recovers so that he doesn't have to go through the pain.
Yeah.
And also, it's supposed to help him recover somehow. I don't remember the science behind it.
Basically, it's like Yuki's treatment, but it's different since they're using newer technology.
Yeah. So they put him in this world, but this time something goes wrong. His memory isn't wiped. And he's very confused. He wakes up confused and is like, where am I? This world looks real. Like, the other ones you can tell you're in a game, but this one looks actually real. And he's going around, he finds this person named Yu-Gi-Oh, whose job is to cut down a tree, and he chops at it every day, and it's like the thickest tree of all time, and generations of his family have been doing it, and they cannot seem to cut it down. Which I guess I should mention,
it's called a demon
time,
tree.
it moves slow or faster when you're in this place, which is called the underworld. And so time moves so like it moves way faster. So while he's in here, he's in there a couple days total, but for him it feels like he's in there for years. Actually 5 years exactly. So he's in there like 5 days in the real world, but he's actually in there 5 years his time. So he lives in this world for 5 years not knowing what's going on or why he's in there. But so he makes his. This is basically where I think we should like cut off what we're spoiling. He meets Yu-Gi-Oh and is going on this adventure to try and like free his his best friend from childhood, because she's been captured by the fiction by the computer, by the AI government.
Yeah, it's because there's like they separated two zones. There's like the dark zone and there's the where the citizen lives, and the citizen cannot go allowed to go beyond the dark zone.
She tripped
If you
and
go beyond the
fell.
dark zone,
She
she got
tripped and
kidnapped.
fell, and then got kidnapped, and got turned into. Well, I guess I won't. I guess no, it's fine to say this. She got turned into like what they call an integrity knight, which is somebody who has their memories erased and is given special powers as a knight. And so this season's about them trying to fight to get her back.
Yeah, basically there's a lot of cool weapons that Nate holds. So
yeah. So that's basically that whole part of the show.
Yeah, and we're not gonna spoil the last one.
I want people to be able to watch that
start
while still watching this, including you, Abby, because it's a good show, except for the second.
Yeah, because the weapons are the same in the next one. So I say we're just gonna end it right here, and then we're gonna talk about all the weapons.
Yes. So we're gonna get right into it. The first sword is Kirito, one of the two of Kirito's swords from Sword Art Online. It's called the Elucidator. Yeah. What do you guys think about it?
Let's look. Sorry, my computer is being weird. I had.
We should get Abby's opinion first, since she's new to the show.
Let's look. Well, it looks kind of boring, honestly.
Spoiler spoiler alert, it's one of the least boring ones you'll see.
But it's just a sword.
But it's a cool looking sword. It's all black. It's got like this cool little thing down here.
Yeah, there's no color at all. It's just a sword with a weird like battering on the side
we
of
just
it.
let her comment and then
Where do you
we
want to
can say
rank
what we
it?
are.
Where would
It
you
looks
rank
like a
it?
battering. I rate it poop.
Like what? A D? That's the lowest tier.
A D.
Whatever.
A
I need to make one of the tiers poop, and that's what it's going.
I don't think
this is
poop.
actually one of my favorite swords in the show.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. It's boring.
I think it looks weird. I would put it at an A as well. So we're gonna find the middle, which is gonna be
Just
like
put it at
we'll put
B.
it in B. Because that's where Abby wants
to
it.
satisfy
which is
you.
a little disappointing in my opinion. But it is what it is. Then we got the Night Sky Sword. So this is
my favorite.
This is pretty fancy.
Sword when he's in the underworld.
This is my favorite. This
one is really cool. It's definitely up at the top of my list, and it was.
I think it's an S tier for me.
That's an S tier. That's pretty cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
This one was made out of the demon tree that he had to help Yu-Gi-Oh cut down.
Which is really cool. And this is the dark repulsor.
Here's Kirito's other sword from SAO.
It's Sword Online.
Is this the one that's like a lightsaber?
That one's from Gun.
No. It's the one he dual wield in Sword Online.
You'll be able to tell when it's the lightsaber. This one's the dark repulsor.
Yeah. This one's okay.
I like this one. It's like a cool. I like the color scheme. It's got like a darker green with like a light blue.
I think that's an A, dude.
I would also think that's an A.
Sure, why not?
What do you think? What's your opinion, Abby?
It's more colorful than that one sword. So.
Yeah, but would you put it at an A?
I think it deserves an A because it's blue, and blue is a great color.
Cool.
All right.
Next one.
The next one.
This is my personal favorite sword.
Well, then this one definitely goes on S.
This is my favorite sword in the game. It's got special powers where it creates ice, and it's really cool.
I don't care if it was like a blue stick. If it's blue,
that's
it's
an S tier. That is.
I agree. So these are Kirito's two swords while he's in
Underworld.
So also this sword turns red for part of the show, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it absorbs blood. It
turns full on red, and it's so cool.
It looks so amazing. It's like red rose, but like ice. It was so sick.
Yeah.
Fancy.
All right. I agree with that ranking.
Yeah.
This picture is not very good. It's a rapier. This is called the Lambent Light. It is Asana's sword. It's kind of simple. It's supposed to be more high-end and fancy because that's a little bit of the vibe Asana gives off too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going
I'd give it a B or C probably.
I'll hear Abby's opinion before I give mine.
It's boring.
C? I would say it's a C too, cause I mean it's not a boring sword, but it's just
fine.
Like
It's not.
It's just
not
like
super cool.
Everyday.
Yeah. It doesn't
Nothing
seem
special.
like wow.
At least
dude.
it's got some color in it.
Special.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like wow. Oh,
yes.
Okay, so this one's.
This looks like something out of Zelda. Excalibur.
I personally don't love
the strongest sword in the
It's
game.
the strongest sword.
I think it's okay.
I would probably give this one a C or a B or maybe even a poop. I don't like the colors because it was supposed to look more gold, but it looks more like a gross green.
I honestly
it
give
looks
it
like
a B.
something from like Atlantis to me.
If it was a little more shiny golden, I'd go A. I think it's a B for this one.
Yeah, it's ironic how like Kirito can use this sword to eliminate like almost 100 players, and then he couldn't fight against Yuki because she's too fast.
All right, so we're gonna go what? What did you rate it?
B.
I think B.
All right, we'll go B then.
B for not that boring.
For boring-ish. That's what we're retitling that.
I think it's a better picture for it.
Boring-ish. So we got Poop and Boring-ish as our 2 tier names right now.
Boring-ish poop.
I think there's a better picture for it.
Yeah, there probably is, but this was the only one that really let me use. All right, next one. This is the lightsaber.
Oh, that is definitely a lightsaber.
It's cool.
That's
it's pretty cool.
The photon.
It's a little bit smaller
that's...
than a lightsaber, but it's still really cool in my opinion.
And it has like a purple
handle. I would
handle.
give it an A or S probably personally.
Yeah, I like purple. I like lightsabers. This is
you agree
great.
with that, Waffles?
Which one? A.
We both said S.
Yeah. That definitely deserves an S right there.
A cool. It's
cool weapon. It was a close. It was It's not as cool as the other two we seen in the first NS, but it's still really really
just
good.
To say the name, it's the Kagamitsu's G4. Then we got
the Salami G4.
Hecate
is it's literally just
a sniper rifle.
A gun.
So this is Sinon's weapon in Gun Gale.
This is a great sword.
We're not ranking swords. We're ranking weapons.
Weapons, yes.
Because there are plenty of things here that aren't so. See, with Demon Slayer, they're supposed to use swords, which is why I called them swords. This one, it's not all swords.
It's
basically
called
Sword Art Online.
Yeah, it's basically in the Excalibur of Gun Gale.
Yeah, it's really cool, but it's also just a sniper. And it looks like a sniper.
I think
C is probably where I'd put it.
C.
This is a picture of a 3D render of it that they.
Wait, Abby, go B?
I said B or C.
Where do you want it, Waffles?
I think C. Yeah, C is good.
C for crap. Well, no, because poop is not crap. Because
all right, the heaven-piercing sword. This sword is used by one of the Integrity Knights.
Does it pierce heaven, or does it use the power of heaven to pierce people?
Yes. This is used by one of the Integrity Knights in the Underground.
Oh wait, it's the snake guy, right?
No, it's the chick that wants to act like a guy.
Oh, the chick. Oh yeah. The chick that shoots out light.
So, I think this one's pretty cool. But it's also not as cool as some of the other ones we've looked at.
Kind of like simpler. I'd say B.
I'd probably say C.
It can shoot out like concentrated ray of light, which really hurts your enemy if it pierces through like butter.
Kind of one.
Yeah, B for butter.
Yeah.
All right, we're renaming it butter, I guess.
Wait, what was it before?
Boring-ish.
Boring.
Alright, so this one I couldn't. This is the time-piercing sword. I couldn't find a picture.
That's a sword.
I couldn't find a picture without the guy in it. It's the sword he's holding.
That's a really weird-looking sword.
I think it's a great sword more than a sword.
So he can use it to travel through time.
Okay. Time-piercing sword.
He can stop time and he can slash people.
It's personally, I think it looks fine, but it's still pretty cool considering it's got like a cool design on it and it's some cool colors too, in my opinion. But it is a little bit on the simpler side, so I would probably put it A tier.
I would B.
Yeah, B. I say B.
So we're putting it B.
Boring butter.
Next
Boring butter.
The fragrant olive sword.
Now that is a buttery sword.
In the Underground.
Alex.
That is a pretty buttery sword.
It's just all gold, and I love it.
I could just lick that sword.
And it can turn into a flower and stuff. And then you could slash people with flour. It's really good.
Yeah, you can slash people with flowers.
Yes, basically.
That's great. I would say A tier.
I say an S tier.
We'll put an A.
Alright,
We don't have
S
that many
it
things in it.
Yeah.
Ah. We don't have. What's the last tier
Poop.
called? Oh,
There's
poop.
nothing in it though.
Poop.
Why don't we? Why is nothing
we
in
haven't
poop?
caught
There
anything
should be
poop
something
yet.
in poop.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's
Next.
don't worry. We still have.
All right. This is
Okay,
Death
yeah,
Gun.
that's
This is
poop.
Death Gun. This is the gun he uses to kill people.
This is definitely
Yeah.
poop.
That's
It's just a pistol. It's literally just a
It's
pistol.
just a pistol. Poop
Like,
for
come on.
pistol.
Like at
Dude.
least the
Pistol.
sniper had going for it that it was a cooler weapon than a pistol.
It was cool because like sniper,
But
but
this
this
was
is
just
just
the
the
pistol.
boringest gun. Like no one wants to get this gun in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Like
All right.
no one.
I think we agree. Next weapon. We
Yeah,
only have 3
yep.
left, by the way.
All right. What's
Mjolnir.
Ah, Mjolnir.
The Thor's hammer.
It looks more like a wooden toy
It's larger
version.
than this, and it looks like gold.
Okay,
I
alright.
couldn't find a picture of the full thing, but it's like a great hammer more than it is like a hand hammer.
Yeah. So yeah. So you imagine Thor hammer, right? Imagine that. Imagine if it's like a little wider and a little
If
like
you just
bigger.
made it all
like
bigger and you made the hilt longer.
Yeah.
Alright.
All yellow.
I'd say it's a pretty buttery
think
sword,
B?
so I'm gonna say B's here.
Uh-oh.
B.
Ooh.
I'm say B.
Oh, no. We're not gonna talk about that. You guys thinking B? All right.
B.
What do you think?
No, I would say probably A tier, but I'm happy with B too. So
Butter.
I think it's just
Buttery.
pretty cool looking, and it's a little different from all the other ones here.
Alright.
No,
The
next
bait
one.
chopper. This was used by one of the people from Laughing Coffin in the underground or the underworld arc. It's just a cleaver.
Oh, the mate chopper.
It's just a cleaver, but it's like a kind of cool looking cleaver.
Yeah, that's how you chop your mate.
I'd say C tier.
I kind of agree.
C
tier. All right.
Yeah, C. Not that strong.
Now we're for the last. We're here for the last weapon. All right.
You mean the lady?
This one's
Or
another
was it a
one where I
guy?
couldn't fit
I don't even
find a
know.
picture of the weapon without the person, but I just think it's a cool weapon.
Okay.
So this one is
It's
Sinon's
a bow.
It's just like
Alright.
it's so cool looking.
It's
It
blue.
looks so good.
It looks really cool. I would rate it. I don't know how practical it is because it's massive.
It's exactly like those bow where you could find in fantasy worlds. Like exactly
But
like
yeah,
it.
I would probably rank this at least an A.
Say A.
It's
I
A or
would
an
rank
S.
it A or S too.
Yeah. It's really good.
Just A to balance it out,
Alright, we'll go for A. So yeah, that is the final ranking here. Give me a second. I'm going to change what you guys are looking at, friends. Oh. Yeah, here's a bigger picture of the full thing. Yeah.
Alright. We got poop. I don't think
with
A, S never got anything. Butter.
Yeah, we should rename them. We should
this
rename them.
S is for
S is for
S is for superior.
Superior Kayak Mafia. Or is
S
it Mafia
for
Kayak?
Sort of stupid.
And A is for Abby because I'm awesome. Obviously.
Abby
is awesome.
But also kind of cool.
Okay.
S-A-B and B
is for butter.
Butter. Boring
B is
butter.
for butter. C is for ka-chow, but with the C, and then D was poop.
Okay. Yes, because this poop starts with a D.
No, D is donkey poop.
They don't.
Donkey.
They don't need to start with the same thing. Also, all right. You're right. What was I thinking? Dupe. Dupe.
Donkey poop. Dupe. Dupe.
That's a dupe.
Donkey dupe.
All right.
Donkey dupe.
We got a full
Donkey dupe.
list. I think there weren't quite as many weapons as there were for Demon Slayer, and some of these aren't quite as unique as the ones from Demon Slayer. But I still think they're cool. I just think they're neat.
I still think they're really cool. But there are the rest of there are a lot of weapons that the Integrity Knights carried, but we don't mention that.
Yeah, there are other ones. I chose the coolest ones. Which were this one, the olive one, something or other. It was this sword.
I honestly think
this sword. But yeah, that's the episode. Thanks for joining us. I had a great time. This was a lot of fun.
Me too. I learned about an anime that I'll never watch.
I'm gonna save the picture of this for later. While I'm editing, because that's what you guys are gonna be looking at right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna have to do a whole lot of editing for this one, thankfully, because I think we did a good job of keeping this short and sweet while also getting through everything we needed to.
Yeah. Except for the intro, which better become the outro.
Didn't even keep that in the recording.
Oh my gosh.
I will put it somewhere. Maybe I'll put it I'll upload it as like a teaser before, maybe.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, guys.
What's the stuff I say?
I hope you have
go check out my Twitch,
Reagan's
Twitter, and my YouTube,
and my Twitch
Abby,
as well.
And my
they both have Twitches and YouTubes as well. I'll probably put the link somewhere. At the very least,
I mean, if anything,
you know what? At the very least, if you look in the description, go to our link tree and then click on the one about me.
Yeah.
Their links are already on my link tree, so you can find their links there.
And you guys should watch the new channel that all three of us have.
It's called The Idiots.
That we made.
We're gonna make a trailer probably right now.
And you probably couldn't find it if you looked it up on YouTube, so you'd have to use a link.
Where it's The Idiots, where we play a bunch of dumb games.
By the time this episode is up, I will probably have the trailer, the announcement trailer, and a link posted.
Yeah, which we definitely started filming.
We're gonna film it now. Probably.
Now.
We can do it right this second.
It's so late. I have to wake up so early tomorrow.
Thanks for watching. Like I said, this is the end of the season, so thanks for joining us this season. We'll be back in a couple months.
And make sure to buy some.
Yeah, see you guys next season.
Buy some, and you guys should eat chocolate covered almonds.
Okay.
During your break, because they taste really good.
All right. And as always, ciao.
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 Thanks for watching, everyone.